This speech may be familiar to some of you oldies, but it is primarily an entertaining Christmas story, but you may also learn from Sue's mistake. Deck the halls, or Sue Wright would deck the halls but not alone. Sorry. Yeah. Deck the halls but not alone, Sue Wright.
With boughs of holly. Yeah, that looks awesome. Fa-la-la-la-la. Oh, Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters and guests. What do you think? Pretty nice, eh? Yeah, I love this time of year when I can decorate for Christmas. Take that window. 10 minutes ago, it was a plain, unadorned office window. Blah. A little bit of white tape to make some window pane, spray on some snow, hang some snowflakes and some bulbs, and voila, it's transformed. You notice my co-workers are joining in the fun? It wasn't always this way. You see, everything changed after the fiasco of 2014. I was designated as the unofficial decorator for Christmas for the office. So every year around this time, I pulled out all the decorations and set to work bringing joy to the world by ushering in the Christmas season. 2014 was no exception. It was a Sunday evening. I was alone in the office. In fact, I was probably the only person in the entire industrial complex, which was fine by me. This was my opportunity to let my creative juices flow and to transform the office into a Christmas wonderland. No distractions, no interruptions. Part of my introverted side. I had everything I needed, so I slipped off my shoes to get comfortable as I went up and down the ladders, taping windows, hanging ornaments. The radio was blasting all of the old favorite songs and Christmas carols. God rest ye merry gentlemen. I was in Christmas heaven. What could possibly go wrong? I finished taping up all the windows, and then I moved to the reception area where I hung up the office stockings, the bells and the bows. The music continued. Silent night, holy night. Bang! Crash! Oh my word, the silent night was interrupted. My heart leaped, and then I realized, it's just the heating system, which is given to these occasional convulsive fits. Harmless, but unnerving, and it reminded me that I was totally alone in this industrial complex on this very dark and cold Sunday winter night. I locked the doorknob of the inner office door, blocking out any potential intruders, and I carried on with my festive activities. Garlands were set on top of all the bookcases, snowmen were strategically placed, and Mary, Joseph, and baby Jesus were set out in the reception area. Doesn't get better than this. This is the reason why all of us in the office celebrated Christmas, to celebrate the birth of Christ. Last on the agenda was my pièce de résistance, the annual scene in the alcove set in the hall that leads to the office. I propped open the door, dragged all the stuff from the office into the alcove, ready to set it up. I was quite pleased with this year's design. I had an 8-foot artificial decorated tree, a fireplace made of heavy-duty construction paper, or cardboard rather, with sponged bricks on there, and real logs, and cut-out flames, and stockings hung with care. And finishing off the scene was a rug and a rocking chair with 2 teddy bears that were reading the Christmas story. Now I noticed the fireplace kept pulling away from the wall, so I made a mental note to get some sticky tack so I could fix this securely to the wall. My job was done. And I was impressed. Music filled the office. Oh, come, all ye faithful. I had once again transformed the office, and I could now go home and just wait for my coworkers to be bedazzled by my handiwork. All was well with the world. I propped open the door and gathered all the stuff in order for me to get ready to go home. My shoes, my coat, my purse, my cell phone, and oh yes, I ran and got a dozen eggs from the fridge that Mary Ann had picked up for me from the farmer's market. Now it was time to go. And then I remembered the sticky tack. I trotted to my desk, grabbed that sticky blob, trotted out to the alcove, and glued that fireplace firmly. There. Now it was time to go. Now I could go home and fix Bill and I some hot chocolate to celebrate. Funny. The door won't open. The door won't open because I locked it from the inside to keep intruders out. But I wasn't an intruder. I just wanted to go home. I turned that knob and tried to open that door as if my efforts would wear down the patience of the door. All right already. Don't get your bloomers in a knot. I'll open. But the door did not cooperate. I moved to the window and pressed my face against it, longingly staring at the worldly goods I was most in need of at this moment. My shoes, my coat, my purse with my car keys and driver's license, my cell phone, and oh yeah, a dozen eggs. I don't know how long I stood there, willing my possessions to levitate and transport through the door into my waiting arms. I could hear the music playing inside. Baby, it's cold outside. I realized I had no choice. I ran home in below freezing temperatures, bare feet, no coat, bare shoulders. It was only a 10-minute walk, and I ran, but it was cold and it was painful. No snow on the sidewalk, but giant rock salt everywhere. I don't know what hurt more, my bruised feet, the salt burn, or the freezing temperatures. I shivered as I got to the front of the apartment, buzzed the door, and my husband Bill came down to let somebody in to discover his underdressed, barefooted wife shivering at the door. Don't ask, just let me in. Which he did, and then he handed me his phone so I could phone my boss, the only one who lived nearby, so I could retrieve my belongings. Bill drove me to the office. I was met there by my boss, his wife, and their little toddler. Their laughter helped to heal my bruised ego, but they were bedazzled. And they were grateful that they were the first ones to see the decorations. And so I learned my lesson. Share the joy. And now you can see us all enjoying the merriment, the company, the peace on earth, goodwill to men, and Sue doesn't need to be rescued. Fa la 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 la.